To understand VDM's rise, it is important to look at him through the lens of entrepreneurship. Just like successful entrepreneurs identify gaps in the market and build products to solve them, VDM identified a major gap in Nigeria's digital space. There was a growing problem: vendors, influencers, and public figures exploiting their popularity, combined with a lack of effective watchdogs, to defraud unsuspecting Nigerians. He stepped into that space, positioning himself as a voice of accountability. At the beginning, his intentions may have been genuine. At the same time, it is clear that he also sought visibility, and he achieved that in abundance. As his influence grew, and likely with encouragement from observers and supporters, his platform evolved into a monetized enterprise, capitalizing on high engagement across social media. From that point, the mission gradually blended with business interests, bringing him popularity, financial gains, and access to elite circles. However, beyond this entrepreneurial framing, I have always seen VDM differently. To me, he appears more like a distraction, perhaps even a mole planted among the people to divert attention from the deeper realities facing Nigeria. He presents himself as a fourth arm of government, a messiah figure sent to sanitize the digital space and even handle issues the police allegedly cannot. Has he succeeded? To some extent, yes. He has exposed wrongdoing and helped certain individuals. But in many cases, he has also complicated issues or created unnecessary razzle-dazzle, more spectacle than substance. Looking deeper, the structure around him raises further questions. Many of his followers, especially those acting as state representatives, to me, they treat the movement as a business opportunity. They leverage his popularity to grow their own platforms, aligning themselves with the broader movement while documenting every activity for views, engagement, and ultimately, profit. That said, it would be unfair to dismiss all their efforts. Some do contribute meaningfully, organizing cleanup exercises or assisting vulnerable individuals who lack a voice. Yet, even within these acts of goodwill, the underlying model still resembles a system driven by monetary values, visibility, and monetization, in a country where unemployment figures is alarming. From a strategic perspective, one must ask, would anyone willingly destroy their own source of income? The answer is no. This is why it is unrealistic to expect VDM to fully engage in political mobilization that could bring about credible leadership and systemic reform in Nigeria. A functional system would eliminate the very chaos that sustains his relevance and income stream. There are also unanswered questions. For instance, what led to his release by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC? It raises the possibility that there may be boundaries he has been cautioned not to cross, especially regarding active political engagement. His claim that the DSS contacted him over a planned protest further adds to this suspicion, suggesting a reminder to stay within certain limits. Over time, contradictions in his statements have also become more noticeable. When someone speaks extensively in the public space, inconsistencies tend to surface, and this seems to be happening here. It's okay for him to lead a protest in whatever disguise, but it becomes a problem when others do the same, especially if the protest is against the ruling party. He is quick to call the actions of the mobilizer bluff and then go ahead to present a dimension that sounds as if his wisdom and ability to make judgment is close to that of God himself. Something King Solomon of old can't even boast of. Same way he brandished himself as Mr. Integrity, making Joseph the dreamer, who survived in the hands of Potiphar's wife, to perhaps wants to doubt his own integrity. It is often said that once a thief, always a thief. Even when people claim to have changed, traces of their past can remain. This is why repeated claims of integrity should always be critically examined. In today's world, public perception can be carefully curated, while the truth often lies behind closed doors. Ultimately, judgment rests between individuals and their conscience, and their God. None of this is to undermine the work of other voices who have consistently spoken out against injustice. Individuals like MC Koboko, for instance, have continued to challenge bad governance and educate the public without turning their platforms into overly commercialized ventures. As Nigeria continues to struggle under the weight of corruption and poor leadership, one can only hope for a turning point. In my view, much like Omoyele Sowore and Reno Omokri, VDM represents more of a distraction than a solution. It may not be obvious to everyone now, but with time, the bigger picture may become clearer.